Here we go. Yes, this is Kenny Richards and David. Folks, good afternoon, one and all. It is Juan. We are live on the radio in just 3 minutes. There's Denise. Please share that you're watching. Don't forget, tonight at 8 o'clock, Cranston PD Live, Episode 7. And no one knows this yet, but we will be out New Year's Eve. There's Andrew. Hola, there's Pamela. Folks, share that you're watching. The other thing, if you get a chance, if you've ever sent stars, right now Facebook is doing, it's almost like an incentive, that if you've sent stars in the past, if you go to my Reels, that's brand new, some of the clips, the Reels, 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 you can send free stars. How about that? It only goes till January 9th. There's James Lombardi, the birthday boy. Happy birthday, James. There's Diane. Folks, don't forget tonight, Episode 7. Here we go. James Lombardi. Happy birthday to James. Thinking of the big guy. There's our friend Pat Cordelessa. This show is... well, I was thinking of our friend Tony. I went to the wake the other day. Folks, share that you're watching. Don't forget, 8 o'clock tonight, Cranston PD Live. All right, we're live on the radio. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. With the breaking news. This is the live report. One after dark. We'll probably, I don't know. We'll see. We're going to be working all weekend. Cranston PD Live tonight at 8. And then New Year's Eve as well. But I'm sure we'll be doing something in between. We'll definitely do some kind of one after dark, something on Friday. And then, folks, we enter 2023. It's going to be a huge year. As if it's not already. All right, we are just 2 minutes out. I want to wish everyone a very happy New Year, safe, careful out on those roads. So I, like many of you, I mean, my heart just goes out. Obviously, like everyone else, I'll be thinking of little Olivia Passaretti. I notice it's just shameful. They never mention her. Governor McKee's never reached out to the family. They don't toughen the drunk driving laws in the state. It's so disappointing. Folks, be careful out there. You know, she was going from Warwick to East Greenwich. She was at her sister's and she was going home, 17 years old. And then that maniac ran her off the road. I also have a Coventry update, and it's not good. So, boy, these people, not easy. That's why huge thumbs up for everyone, the Cranston PD. And obviously big changes with the Providence Police as well. We'll get through all of it. But the Democrat Party, this is disgraceful, what has happened. And the silence, of course. The silence is equally disgraceful with that guy. He was high level. I know exactly who that loser is. He's a deviant is what he is. But he's a high level Democrat operative. There's your Democrat Party. Telling women. Well, folks, good afternoon. Right now it's 12:06 on this Thursday. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. I want to welcome everybody tuning in on Facebook Live. We do the noon report, so you can find out what's going on. Now, folks, also, we're going to be doing more. I have the background set, and they're going to be more like breaking news updates. They're going to be short, 1-2 minutes max. And then, boom, you can hear directly. So get used to that. That's going to be one of the new things we're going to be doing in 2023. If you are watching, share that you are watching. Again, Facebook alert, Facebook Live tonight. Cranston PD Live, Episode 7 comes your way tonight at 8 o'clock, 8 to 10. 8 to 10. Now, if something huge happens, obviously we will remain out there. But tonight and New Year's Eve will be out once again. That will be Episode 8. Episode 8 with Cranston PD Live. That is just, I can't believe the numbers. It is just rocketing. And it's also interesting to see the different states and even countries now that are tuning in. Folks watching it, watching The Chosen One as we're out with Cranston's finest. I'll tell you, Cranston sets, to me, the bar as far as, and I don't mean this to begrudge some of the other police departments, but I mean, you want to talk about transparency. It is just fantastic. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show And it's brought to you by the Coesit Inn. You know, they are so terrific. They want to wish everyone Merry Christmas, still say that, and Happy New Year from the Coesit Inn. I love it there. Maybe you haven't been there in a little while. Maybe it's time to check it out. 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Lunch, dinner, drinks in the lounge. They're just terrific. The food is excellent. The Coesit Inn. Stop in and see them. They also sponsor DePetro.com. Now, also, folks, this portion of the program is brought to you by Propane Plus. You know, if you use propane, call Propane Plus today in Rhode Island, 401 885 4209. 401 885 4209. In Massachusetts, 508 252 3359. Heating and cooling, they are your propane supplier. It's Propane Plus. 3 generations. They have a very user-friendly website. It's online at propaneplus.com. Residential, commercial, just put in your zip code and boom. They are terrific. If you use propane, use Propane Plus. Call them today, 401 885 4209. Happy New Year to all of their customers and everyone from Propane Plus. Well, folks, I am going to update you on the Coventry situation. Actually, I could just start off and do that right now. I am still waiting on the Coventry Police to provide me with some official record of what went down at Nikki's Lounge last week that seemed to be the meeting spot and then resulted in at least 2 deaths and a third person is recovering. What we have heard is this was coke that was spliced with some kind of a lethal chemical, possibly fentanyl, maybe something else. But that is what we have heard and resulted in 2 deaths. I've been contacting and on the phone with Coventry Police since I learned about it last Saturday on Christmas Eve. So we're still waiting for some kind of official word on that. And I know I'm still hearing from people saying, you shouldn't be talking about it. That's private. That's private between the victims and the families. I can't believe I get these people that somehow in the midst of this, their number one priority is to defend Nikki's Lounge. Now, again, I don't know them. I've never been there. I know they've been there for a very long time. But talk about priorities out of whack. I want to also come down on, I still maintain that alerting the public, hey, be careful. There is a dose or amount or there's some coke that's on the street right now that is spliced with some kind of fentanyl or something, and it's lethal. And so drawing attention to that right now, that batch that is out there and potentially being sold, I've already heard from several people as a result of the Christmas Eve posting we did, it told them and prevented certain people from doing it. I have no idea why the police have not enacted that. I know the police say, well, we deal with this all the time. It's different. There's different types of overdoses. And I know people say, well, everyone needs to carry Narcan. But I don't know enough about that. I mean, it's definitely something we will explore going into the future. And I also want to touch on, there are some people have this attitude. And I don't think it's reasonable. And I think it's they miss the point. Some people may not like it, but it's not a good thing. But we have learned that coke has made a comeback, and especially on the college campuses. And I have heard from someone that they attend a local college, and it's a group. I think it's like 6 of them, and every Thursday night. They don't get a huge amount, but they're college students. Every Thursday night, they purchase and do blow. So they're really shaken by it. So I know some people, this is nothing new, and you're missing the larger point. There are people that use some of it recreationally, and it crosses over. This is not heroin. This is not meth. This is coke that is somehow laced with it. Maybe that's the better word, laced. Now, I also heard from a member of law enforcement that said sometimes, not always, but sometimes they've encountered people that are smoking cannabis that's laced with some form of it. I, I was the person that told me that said when they were dealing with it, it wasn't lethal, but it really put them in the hospital. So I recognize some people may say that's what happens when you do, but you're missing the larger point. There becomes a comfort level that, and I'm not saying it's right, but we're trying to deal in reality here. It becomes a comfort level that people feel, okay, we're not doing, meth. We're not doing mushrooms. We're not doing heroin. We're drinking and we're just doing a little bit of blow. But the problem is this batch obviously had a lethal element to it. So I maintain, I still think I'm still going to wait for an official answer from Coventry Police. I still don't fully understand why they wouldn't put out there. Today, some fire department somewhere, first responders, police are going to be called that someone has overdosed. It's tragically happening every day, but that is primarily people that are using oxy, that are using opioids, that are using heroin, and that's where it's coming in. There's also a difference of someone that does too much of a drug, and then someone that they just do a little bit, but because of the lethal nature, it takes their life. So I want to remind people, you want to be a little sensitive. I still think, as much as I was getting heat for even publishing anything on the story, I still think we're better off if people know and then they make their own choices. I am willing to bet that these individuals that passed away didn't realize they were about to do a lethal dose. I don't think so. I don't know them. Feel bad for the family, obviously. And so there's that. Now, I also want to come back. I touched on this business, AAA has the press conference and the head of the state police. Well, hold on. Sticking with Coventry, I still have no update on the body they found in the Coventry pond. I don't understand it. There are other law enforcement organizations that, as I mentioned, are very transparent, far more. The Rhode Island State Police, whether it is because of the new colonel, whether it is because of Darnell Weaver, whether it's because of Governor McKee, whatever it may be, but it's highly unusual now. A week has gone by, and forget about a press conference. A week has gone by. They found a body in a pond in Coventry, and the state police are acting like nothing happened. I don't understand it. As I have said, and then I'm going to move on, a week ago Monday, we were at the fatal shooting in Providence. On the scene, Major David LePayton and Mayor Elorza gave a quick briefing to the media. At the scene of the murder, state police not even a two, and that's not just, that's everybody, not even a two-sentence paragraph. Not even state police confirm a body was found, we are investigating. Nothing. I don't understand it. So there's that. But I want to, this thing of that they have the press conference yesterday, drive sober or get pulled over. I want to repeat, they do nothing to prevent us on those highways. And they're lucky that I didn't go. Because with certain people, it's one thing if they're not going to do their job. It's another thing if they're going to stand in front of the public and start lecturing us. Why don't you do your blanking job? Why don't you introduce legislation to toughen drunk driving laws? I already know the answer to this. Drunk driving attorneys. This state, as I've told you in the past, and it's terrible, they make a fortune off drunk driving. I am not convinced. They don't want to end drunk driving. They make too much money off it. Now I recognize head of the state police, this Darnell Weaver, Governor McKee. How dare you say? Where's the legislation? Show me legislation that you have introduced that would toughen the drunk driving laws in the state. There isn't any. They were quick to go after moms demand action on guns. See how quick they move? That showed you, by the way, that showed you and demonstrated when Governor McKee wants to, how he can move on an issue, right? We're going to get rid of, they love to beat the drum on that. Nothing on drunk driving. And I come back to Olivia Passaretti. That guy had been pulled over prior to that. Why was he let go? Shouldn't have been on the roads. I'm still angry about it. Now, the anniversary is coming up Saturday into Sunday. And then that was January. That's how the year started with the death, really the murder of Olivia Passaretti. That guy posted he was going to take somebody out that night. He may be a degenerate loser, which he is, but he's a man of his word. He did take someone out. And then February brought us the death of Matt Dennison. Innocent high school senior who was killed by someone who was really impaired. Did Governor McKee ever mention anything about Matt Dennison? Never. Zero. Nope. Not a word. Instead, when Black Lives Matter wanted to have some kind of a press briefing, Governor McKee, pencil me in, was right there. How dare these Trump people be talking about freedom of speech? We're going to prosecute them. But the death of 2 teens in the span of 2 months, silence from the governor who lives with his mother. I'll also say this. Another member of the media said, so now are you covering Tuesday? You know what, folks? I'm going to give you a heads up. I'm not covering his stupid inauguration on Tuesday. Okay? I don't care. If you want to watch that or cover it, go watch it somewhere else. I did. I was in the car. I heard someone down the dial. And on Tuesday, of course, all eyes will be on Governor McKee and the inauguration. Wrong. Who cares? First of all, he didn't even win. Helena Folks beat him on Election Day. McKee didn't legitimately win. The unions grabbed mail ballots, ballot harvest, and put him over the top. He's not a popular governor. He's going to be indicted by the FBI. Now that I will cover. That will have wall-to-wall coverage on. What do you think? I'm going to go to the stupid convention center and watch him put his hand in the air? And I also... the whole thing is just troubling to me. I'm not watching any of that. Listen to his speech. That's all it is. That's all he does is talk. He doesn't carry anything out. He's not there for us. He's going to be a very expensive governor. Now he has to fulfill all these campaign promises. And he's already starting to highlight it. He's again going to give the unions all these bonuses. And I want to repeat what I said earlier. This is a joke that Governor McKee, in order to get their endorsement, gave all the state police a $3,000 bonus to wear their body cam. Insanity. Ridiculous. It's bordering on voter bribery is what it is. Folks, if I sound like I don't care, it's a very good reason for that, because I don't care. I'm not... These people are so unimpressive. Him and Matos... You think I'm going to go cover those 2 clowns? You watch. McKee, where's he been? He's been in hiding since he won the election. He only popped his head out because the homeless set up shop in Smith Hill. It's going to be a catastrophe. His term, you watch this next year. Wait till the federal money starts. He doesn't know how to govern. He throws people under the bus. What happened when the curtain came down? Hey, Eva, hang up on them. There he is. There's the governor who lives with his mother. No, I'm not being fooled by that. He lost on primary day to Helena Folks. And Matos is another weak link. They're not leaders. They're elected officials. Nothing more. He's not a leader. He folded with the teachers union. He gave them $3,000 bonuses in Providence, and they still didn't endorse him. And you watch how this Providence Teachers Union thing is going to blow up. Oh, yeah, like he's competent and capable of handling it. Folks, this portion of the program, listen, you want to make sure. I received a very disturbing email the other day from someone, and I don't know what his nephew got caught up in the crypto stuff. So he saw his nephew Christmas Eve. He said he thought his nephew would be in good spirits, and he's at the family get-together of Christmas Eve, and they're doing the 7 fishes. And after a couple of drinks, his nephew confides to him that he essentially lost over 6 figures in cryptocurrency. He thought he was, on the fast track to make a quick million, and it's gone in an instant. He said, is there anything, do you think, do you have any advice, anything to do? Yeah. Well, going forward, he should have called Tom Bryan and Ameriprise Financial. Get some solid financial advice. Folks, P.T. Barnum was right. And remember, if it's too good to be true, it is. Ameriprise Financial. Why not start off the year? Here's my advice. This is the advice of Juan. You end the year, and then you start the new year with a free consultation. Tom Bryan, Ameriprise Financial, 401-434-1510. 401-434-1510. I am offering you a free consultation. His nephew should go there. Well, maybe someone that has a little more money. You should go there. Nephew, son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter. Are you retired? Maybe you're thinking of retiring. Maybe you may go back to work. Ameriprise Financial, 401-434-1510. Office is located 400 Massasoit Avenue in East Providence. Ameriprise Financial, 401-434-1510. Folks, it's interesting. This portion of the John DePetro Show, it's brought to you by Ryan's Appliance Repair. Remember what we say. Don't go into the new year with broken appliances. Call Ryan's Appliance Repair, 401-710-7096. Can he fix your washing machine? Yes. Can he fix your dryer? He's fixed mine. Can he fix a dishwasher? Positive, yes, he fixed mine. He can fix your refrigerator, stove, oven. You're not going to lug it in the back of your car back to wherever you bought it. No, call Ryan's Appliance Repair, 401-710-7096, 401-710-7096. Remember what we say, when your appliance is dying, just call Ryan's Appliance Repair, 401-710-7096. Senior citizens discounts are available, and they'll come to your home or business on a Saturday. Ryan's Appliance Repair, 401-710-7096. It's interesting. I was speaking with a business owner, and in the last 6 months, I won't say what the business is. We were talking in confidence. But in the last 6 months, he has now started to change his workforce. He is now hiring people who either were retired and realize they need to make a little more extra income, or people that are retired, but they wouldn't mind having a part-time job. And he said it's what a difference it has been. He would deal, this is what I was told, and maybe you have found the same type of thing, but he told me, and he's a friend of mine, granted, but he told me that he used to try to get younger people who would then interview and not show up, or people who would work a couple of shifts and then never show up again. He said everyone he's hired is over the age of 65. Over the age of 65. The workers that he's hiring. I don't know how old the oldest is, but the bulk of his workers now, and it's in the food industry. The workers he's hiring are essentially, I think, 60 to 75 or 65 to 75. I think he just hired someone part-time who's 78. Wants a little extra money. Here's what he said. They are prompt. They are tremendous. They don't get rattled. They do exactly as they're supposed to do. Isn't that interesting? Going into the new year, he only wants to hire people that are over the age of 65. But folks, people are living longer. People are living longer. And there are some people that say, especially this time of year, okay, it's not like you go into the beach, right? It's freezing out. Why not earn some money over the next couple of months? The work is not, you got to put in the work. It's not, the most rewarding thing maybe they've ever done, but this interaction and it's income. And, it was funny. He was telling me one of the people he hired when they were working, their minimum wage was like two and a quarter or $2. He's paying them over $15 an hour. I think even maybe a little bit higher. I don't remember. But anyhow, I just found that kind of funny. Folks, but I'm going to talk about this Democrat, this Justin Goyette. He is, and unless I'm missing something, and it's very possible, what the media is ignoring it. I'll tell you, the print media is really ignoring it. The print media, they want to find more families that are homeless. Look at this. Crash victim's mother reflects on year without daughter. I feel terrible. I feel absolutely just terrible. And how about, I was so glad that Justin Katz and I discussed that coffee shop, those coffee shops in Boston. They're trying to do it locally, but those coffee shops in Boston, they put that guy Denizen out of business because they insisted on unionizing his coffee shops. And, well, this is something new. All right, Channel 10 has a story here. If there's audio, I will play it. What my point is, I don't see anything on. Nope. Okay. Rhode Island reached a settlement with an election vendor for the ballot mistakes during the primary election. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're really coming forward on that, Nellie. Well, I think I will at least have some access with the new Secretary of State coming in. I believe so. A couple of the stories for let me hold on. What's this? How a new state law helped Warwick conserve 63 wooded acres off Route 2. Yeah, now they're homeless camps. How is that helping anybody? What's this one? Former Memorial Hospital serve homeless and eventually veterans. The situation with Memorial Hospital is a good example where people just say, just open it up, and they have no idea that a lot of these buildings are in disrepair. They were let go. There's OSHA. There's different regulations. You can't just open a building. You have to. It's got to be up to code. Dan McGowan has a good piece in this morning's Boston Globe. Corporation colleges are lining up to donate to Mayor-elect Smiley's inauguration. Well, the colleges. My point is, there's nothing about this Democrat. Justin Goyette, Jordan Goyette, excuse me. There's nothing about him, no story on him. And I come back to, if that were a Republican, if that had been a Trump supporter, at the very least, the print media would have been all over it. So, but this guy, and I know exactly who he is. He is a degenerate. He is, I think his actions are criminal. I think that woman would have to press charges against him. I do have a story up on it on DePetro.com. But the part that you don't see any comment from the Rhode Island Democrat Party. You don't see any comment from the co-op political cooperative. If this were a Republican, let alone a Trump supporter, they'd be all over him. They would be camped outside his house. You'd see one of the TV stations going up to we knocked at the door, he didn't answer. You would see that. Instead, because he's a progressive socialist, and he goes beyond, he is a sick, disturbed individual. But because he is a socialist and a member of that progressive co-op collaborative, he gets a free pass. So I don't want to speak in code, but if you log on to DePetro.com, I have the group he was part of, Reclaim RI. They are progressive socialists. And they allowed this imbecile, disturbing, sick, perverted individual to resign from their stupid group. These people, this Reclaim RI and this Jordan Goyette, they are treated like royalty at the blanking Rhode Island State House. They are disgraceful. You know who's part of this group. Mac is part of this group. Of course she is. The twerking senator. Jennifer Rourke is part of this group. Then all the unions are in with them. This guy, written about it. Oh, brilliant, brilliant political operative. I can't even read what he was posting. But it started with some woman, him posting Merry Christmas Skank. And then it went downhill from there. And again, I didn't even post all of it. But you know what? I have to look into who he's talking about with this Kendall. I think I know who that is. But this Jordan Goyette, who's a member of Reclaim Rhode Island Leadership. Now, he was a field director for Gonzalo Cuervo, who ran for mayor this past spring. He also ran the Jennifer Rourke campaign. And it is silence in the media that this guy was sending messages to this woman that posted it on Facebook, that his fantasy is to graphically sexually assault her and then decapitate her. I mean, he is a nutcase. He is a degenerate. He is every negative possible word. He's a sick, perverted individual. And there have been other examples of this. This organization needs to be investigated. Harassing people and subjecting them to his violent fantasies. This individual was involved with dictating education policy to the Rhode Island public schools and the teachers' unions. I kid you not. Crowley's a big fan. Crowley's in with this crew. They are so disgraceful and despicable. And he goes beyond. He's not just a degenerate. And he's not just a criminal sexual pervert. But he is a sick individual. And this organization, again, folks, talk about a double standard. If this were a Republican, all the media would be camped outside the home. So this goes back to 2020, they've known about this guy. And this group, who is so pathetic, said that they got him involved in transformative justice with an experienced external facilitator. I recognize a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about, but no one else in the media will bring this guy up. I give credit. Ted Nesi did retweet their public statement. But he offered to resign. How brave of this despicable, degenerate individual. He was working with an Well, let me just read. We believe cutting ties is the only appropriate course of action. As opposed to what? I'm surprised he's not being promoted to run the Democrat Party of Rhode Island. In late May of 2022, a survivor contacted our organization to share that he had sent harmful, unwanted sexual messages on an online platform in early 2020. So the reason this came forward was they kept promoting him to a leadership position. Reclaim RI. Listen to this. She asked the organization help him face the harm he's caused, rather than immediately expel him. In keeping with her wishes, we spent the last 6 months engaged in an intensive transformative justice process with Jordan, working with an experienced external facilitator to create accountability for his actions. What we've learned today has undermined our confidence in that process. This is, just so we're all clear, and no one else will tell you this, but the Tierra Max of the world, this is what they talk about when they say abolish prisons and defund the police. They want to put these people through what they say is transformative justice. Transformative justice. You don't penalize the person. You work with them. No, it fails. And all of these people should resign. What is this? The law enforcement should be involved here. If this were a Republican, McKee would be having a press conference with Matos and demanding that, when I've directed the FBI and the U.S. Attorney and the Attorney General to immediately begin transformative justice, a political framework approach for responding to violence, harm, and abuse. See, this is the progressive answer. This is their answer to law enforcement. Abolish the prison, says Tierra Mack and all her crew. So what it is you don't need them. What we do is, as a community, we confront the individual through transformative justice and make them understand the consequences of their actions. Does this really sound like something that could work? These idiots couldn't even make it work with this creep, with this degenerate. What an absolute disgrace. I think I know who, I think I know who that Kendall is that he's talking about. I won't say it on the air, but I think I know who it is. I'm not going to embarrass her by no, it's not like Kendall Jenner or anything, but anyhow, but folks, that again, I'm not going to go on and on about it, but you can read about it on the website DePetro.com. But I want you to, if you take away anything from what I'm saying right now at 12:39 on this Thursday, and again, you're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. If you take away anything from what I'm telling you, this is who they listen to. This individual, he has influence with public education. He has influence in our state. This Zero. He's considered a hero with that whole Uprise crowd, right? Let me go to their website. And it gives you some indication. Anyone that would say Uprise, oh, the work he does, oh, it's fantastic and everything. Yeah, how come he skips over a story like this? I'm telling you, folks, it's not your imagination. It's getting worse. I'm on Uprise RI. McKee administration blocks release of public information with a $930 price tag. Rhode Island Coalition and Homeless responds to their letter. Let's see. One of Rhode Island's worst landlords gets a Sunday wake-up call. I don't know what that is. Charter schools barely outperforming public schools in Providence. That's a total lie. Governor implored to take action on homeless crisis. More lies. BLMRI opens African American Innovation Center in Pawtucket. Nothing about Reclaim RI and the degenerate pervert that they have working, who's on the leadership committee, as a matter of fact. These people. But here's the part. Jennifer Rourke, the Rhode Island judicial system has not only failed me, it failed us. What I want to make, or I would like people to comprehend, is as much as this is left-wing, progressive, socialist babble, these people are admired in publicly. They're to be admired, and what a fantastic job they do. What does that tell you? It tells you that they're on the side of this agenda and what they're doing. I just want to see who wrote this. Charter schools barely outperforming public schools in Providence. Tom Hoffman. I don't know who he is. That is a complete, absolute lie. Never called out. Who is this guy? Never heard of him. Tom Hoffman. Oh, okay. Is that why all the journalist, teacher, and parent? It's not even close. These are all lies. And what do you hear from the locals? The big lie. You're an election denier. As I was questioning, why can't we just vote on election day? You're an election denier. How dare you mention that? These people should be able to sleep out in the State House. I didn't realize this. So there was some kind of a protest? I don't know. Reclaim RI. Oh, okay. They're the ones behind it, organizing these other tenants. Homes for All campaign. Oh, I'm sure he was part of this whole thing. Of course he was. What a disgrace these people are. Oh, unless they took out his name. Edited out the name. Justin Goyette. Oh, was he speaking at this perhaps? This crowd. What a joke. I think that's him. Yeah, he was speaking there. I'm not going to play it live because they can't get through a sentence or a complete thought without foul, foul language. So, folks, at 12:43, you're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Now, again, just a reminder, tonight, Cranston PD Live, episode 7 at 8 o'clock, 8 to 10. Episode 8, we're going to be live on New Year's Eve. So people like it, we're going to give them more of it. Let's see. I'm looking at more travel hell. When will it end? Police threaten customers for trespassing at ticket counter. I can't. Airlines lagging, tech investment causing chaos. I can't even imagine right now dealing with this at an airport. I just can't. And it's not just maybe your airline's running fine, but you have to deal with all this other chaos that is happening there. It's just Cosby plans 2023 comedy tour. This guy just can't. This guy just cannot give it up. At what point? Everything that Bill Cosby has been through, like what are you talking about? It's over. How old is he? He's in his 80s, for crying out loud. Ah, my goodness. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show on this Thursday, I want to remind you, if you have an emergency, go to AtMed Urgent Care. 2 locations. If you would like to go to the emergency room, that is your choice. I'm telling you, at AtMed Urgent Care, both times that I've been, and I've been to both locations, the Johnston location and also the East Greenwich location, both times I was seen less than an hour. Actually, both times less than half an hour. But if something happens and you say, this is an emergency, we need to go to the emergency room, I implore you and suggest you try AtMed Urgent Care. And I'll tell you why. 2 locations, 1524 Atwood Avenue in Johnston, right in the Atwood Medical Center, and also 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. They have doctors and nurses. They are cost-efficient healthcare alternative, hospital-based emergencies. It's really simple. If you go to the emergency room now, it takes, it's hours. I received an email the other day. Something happened with her aunt the past couple of days. They went to local emergency room. She said, Juan, I should have listened to you. 8 hours they waited. 8 hours they waited there to be seen. Folks, AtMed Urgent Care. And on top of that, I did get an email from Fred. His brother was in an accident, seemed okay. They thought, let's just be on the safe, err on the side of caution, go to the hospital, emergency room, get him checked out, and they were turned away. At AtMed, they will take you if you were in a car accident. So they also do work and routine urgent care, minor surgical, orthopedic, and trauma, work-related injuries. They also do all adult vaccinations. AtMed Urgent Care. And by the way, Happy New Year to everyone from AtMed Urgent Care. I am hearing from many people that when they go there and they say, by the way, the John DePetro Show said I should come here when I have an emergency. I'm here, I have an emergency. Boom, they take them like right away. So just know that. AtMed Urgent Care. Folks, good afternoon. On this Thursday, we will be on the air tomorrow. We're going to be doing Facebook Live tonight, Cranston PD Live, Saturday night, Cranston PD Live. And then we'll see what the news is. Monday is the official holiday. We will be on the radio show on Monday, and then Tuesday. There'll be, for those that want to see the Governor McKee speech, unless it turns into like the primary night chaos where he's telling Eva to hang up on someone. But There'll be plenty of news outlets that, if you want to listen to the inauguration speech from Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, there's places you can get it. If you want to listen to Governor McGee, there are people that still call him Governor McGee, drone on of what his plans are for 2023. I'm hearing the FBI probe of him is really heating up, and we could see an indictment very shortly in the new year. That's what I'm hearing. Now, we'll see. This could be a long process. Something could happen right away. We could go the whole year and still it's just hanging out there. But I'm hearing that there's something in the works. But no, I'm not going to listen to that. I mean, he's not talking to us. Governor McKee is not speaking to anyone who pays taxes. Governor McKee is not talking to anyone who works outside of the public sector. His entire administration is now centered around campaign promises that he made all of these different groups, government related, in order to get elected. And now, in the Rhode Island, the the home care providers is a good example. Why are they getting bonuses? Oh, because he promised them that. And watch as the year goes along, all of his promises will come out. I want to see how Governor McKee is going to govern when that federal COVID money stops piling in. Now, COVID is back on the rise, whether people want to believe it or not. It is. That's why we're screening out those arriving from China. And that's good news, because Governor McKee just will keep us, and you need to understand, he's going to keep us in a perpetual state of emergency. Governor McKee is. Perpetual state of emergency. Because he just wants the federal money. If the federal money is coming in, he doesn't have to govern. As we talked about with Justin Katz, the state has a $600 million surplus. Does Governor McKee even think of potentially returning some of the money to the people that pay all the taxes? 600,000 people don't pay taxes in a state of 1 million. I'm telling you right now. They don't. It's probably half of that. I will find out that number, by the way. Why not just return some of that money to the different individuals? He won't do that. No way. No. It's all about spending. It's all about fulfilling promises. It's all about just feeding the people that will keep him in power. It's really not governing. It's more of he just keeps making concessions in order to get votes, is what it is. It's actually a very expensive vote gathering information, but nothing that is benefiting us. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show is brought to you by Matthews Oil Company. Now listen, if you need heating oil, call Matthews Oil Company right now, 401-942-7500. 24-hour emergency service. Call Matthews Oil Company, 401-942-7500. 4 generations, they'll keep you comfortable and safe in your home. Listen, we're going to get a little bit of reprieve with the weather, but then it will get cold again. But the next 7 days, and it's fantastic, I'm seeing warm temperatures. Call Matthews Oil Company today, premier dealer in Rhode Island. Call them in 24-hour emergency service, 401-942-7500. They'll keep you comfortable and safe, 401-942-7500 for Matthews Oil Company. While I think of it, I would like to just pull up this delightful weather forecast. Look at that, 50 degrees outside. What a bonus this is. My goodness. Tomorrow, 54 is the high. New Year's Eve, 54. Oh, how golden is this? New Year's Day, 54 degrees. You can golf on New Year's Day. Monday, 48. Listen to this, folks. Tuesday, 52. Next Wednesday, 60 degrees. I may play 9. Thursday, 55. Then it starts to drop back down. But we'll take it. This is all about taking the good bonus days when we can, because then the countdown is on. Folks, the challenge is to make it through January and February, and then, as I've said, it can be a challenging time in this part of the Northeast. So, and I also want to remind you on this Thursday, if you have a pest problem, and I'm not talking about a coworker or a family member, but if you have a pest problem, and you can have a pest problem 12 months of the year, call Falcon Pest Services today, 401 739 1322, serving Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Falcon Pest Services. Call them. Maybe it's a problem with termites or bed bugs or ants, roaches, mice, rats, mosquitoes, many other pests, whether it's a home or a business. Falcon Pest Services. Whether you're looking for one-time treatment, monthly service, quarterly service, or year-round protection, call them for a free quote. Falcon, think of the falcon, boom, swooping in. Falcon Pest Services, 401 739 1322, free consultation. Falcon Pest Services, and online at falconpestservice.com. Folks, good afternoon. Right now at 12:53, you're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. It is pretty amazing that Governor Baker, obviously in Massachusetts, his time is winding down, as Mass will have a new governor, and unfortunately, Rhode Island will continue to have Governor McKee, even though, and I like to point it out to people. People voted for change. People voted for change. People wanted Helena Foulkes to win that Democrat primary. But because of mail ballots that don't even go through the mail, because of ballot harvesting, Governor McKee won the Democrat primary. And the same goes for also the lieutenant governor and, as I mentioned, that second district. Former Cranston Mayor Alan Fung led in the polls by about 4 to 5 points. On election day, Mayor Fung won by about 4 to 5 points. The polls were right on the money. By the way, also the polls had Helena Foulkes closing in and taking the lead over Governor McKee. Both of them were accurate. Why isn't it going to be Congressman Fung? Because of mail ballots and ballot harvesting. And the same goes for the lieutenant governor. Aaron Gukian won. He beat Sabina Matos on election day. Then why isn't he the lieutenant governor? Oh, ballot harvesting. Boston Globe. McKee inauguration set for Tuesday inside the Rhode Island Convention Center. It's normally outside. He moved it inside because of the homeless advocates. Hold an inauguration ceremony at noon Tuesday outside the Rhode Island Convention Center. McGee, a Democrat, won a full 4-year term November 8th. All right, beating Ashley Kalis, blah, blah, blah. He's breaking with tradition because of the extremely cold weather that they experience. The National Weather Service calls for a chance of rain and a high of 54 degrees on Tuesday. The governor's wife will hold the McKee family Bible. Maybe they'll play a card game. The governor will deliver an inaugural address. And is also inviting office holders to share remarks after they're sworn in. Blah, blah, blah. Streamly. Who cares? Who cares? McKee is also hosting a celebration for the general public beginning at 6 o'clock Tuesday at the Convention Center. Light refreshments and family-friendly entertainment will be provided. Who would go to that is beyond me. Not Juan. Tell you that. No live stream coming on that. Mayor Lorza. Oh, Mary Kay Harris. Okay, she has a piece. Until we're ready to reckon with terrible truths about damages owed for millions of black lives lost, let's not talk about reparations. What did I say about reparations? It's never going to be enough. When you start paying people because a slave ship landed in Newport in 1695, none of the people in Providence have anything to do with that. But as soon as you start handing out money, and Mayor Lorza announced that at that press conference in the summer of 2020, I said, there's never going to be enough money. No matter how much you give, they'll always say it's never enough. So, and she writes a piece. I know who she is. She used to be a member of DARE. Lorza signed a $10 million reparation budget. So instead of people like, isn't that great? They're going to give out $10 million, by the way, to anyone in the city of Providence, not just people of color, which is a joke. We even made the Drudge Report. No, what is this piece? It's never enough. It's never enough. All right, instead of 10 million, let's make it 1 billion. It's not enough. That's their answer to everything. When you start handing out free money, at no point will any of the individuals say, okay, that's pretty good. We're happy with that amount. At no point do they say that. Folks, right now at 12:58 on this Thursday, if you're in the car right now, I'm envious. You could pop in and see Marie at It's My Health, 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Stop in and see Marie, that historic white church diagonally across from Davenport Restaurant. Vitamins, herbal remedies, everything you need to remain healthy. Great local products. She has over 250 bulk herbs, teas, and spices, plus hemp and CBD products. It's My Health. If you're on Mendon Road right now, pop in and see Marie, 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Folks, right now it's 12:59. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to break for the 1 o'clock news. Next hour, our legal expert, Attorney Tim Dodd. You're going to hear Attorney Dodd. He's next. And don't forget, tonight, Facebook Live, 8 to 10, Cranston PD Live. Cranston PD Live. We'll be back on the other side after the 1 o'clock news.